The best 60 minutes of your day, the Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour. It's even better because 30 minutes of Bryan Bulaga and Jason Wilde. I wish to thank Magic Johnson for solving a problem. Bryan Bulaga, good afternoon. Do you know the problem that Magic Johnson solved?
I don't. What problem? What problem did Magic solve?
Whatever the discussion was about a superstar, he said, a person who can go on the road and sell the building out, that is a superstar.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know why no one ever said it before. I don't know why. I can't think. That's it. That's how you determine if you're a superstar. That people, other places, the greatest example of that in my lifetime would be Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know who else is on that list, but you knew it as a player, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so it's, I guess for football, it's a little bit different.
Yes, it is. Of course, there are a ton more players.
Yeah, there's a lot more players, but you look at it from I guess you look at it from a different standpoint, right? When you go to play bad teams and teams in losing cities, right? Like you go play when we were playing, obviously Detroit wasn't that good at the time. Detroit was sold out, right? When we would go play Detroit, that was an Aaron Rodgers pull, right? And maybe it was a Packers pull altogether, right? Because Packers fans traveled, or when we would go, say, out east or out west, and we played teams that weren't as good, stadium was full, right? And that had to do a lot with, obviously, I think, people wanting to see the team in general, but it didn't hurt that you had, I think, in my opinion, a superstar in Aaron.
No, you explained it perfectly. There are other factors. There are the team. There are the team's fans, right? To Packer, and how great in sports do the fans follow their team? But again, you still have that factor that exists, which is the greatest tribute.
Yes.
That people that want to go see an opposing team's player coming and selling out at home, that's not the same.
Nope. I don't think so. Like let's look at it. Let's look at it today, right? And I'll try to.
Well, Tom Brady would have been a player. I don't know how many. Then we can decide how big a superstar. But when the New England and Tampa Bay were on the road, there were some people that went to the game to watch Tom Brady play, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about this? How about just when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay?
Yes.
Tampa Bay didn't sell out their stadium. Tom Brady became a buck, and that place was sold out in 10 minutes.
Correct. Yes. And again, it says go on the road, but that's based on the premise of their being there at home. Yes, if you can go at home and get people to go, like Caitlin Clark is the reason I thought of it. Caitlin Clark is as big a superstar as there's ever going to be because she's the only one. Like, if you're the only one and, attendance is down 50%. Well, I just want to tell you, I'm that person. I never watched an WNBA game until she played, and since she's been hurt, guess how many I've watched?
None.
I don't believe. Maybe in the Agumbawale, who is from Milwaukee. I may have watched her in a couple playoffs or something like that. But, and I thought, that's exactly it. And so it's not only Magic Johnson said who can go on the road, but TV ratings would be another way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to see the WNBA's ratings right now.
They're down. They're so far down, it's unbelievable. They're down 50% since she got hurt.
Ooh. And I don't know how long are they saying she's out for?
I think she might be back really soon. It's not very long at all.
Okay.
I would hope this will show the other players in the league how grateful they should be for her.
I know. But the punishment that the league's taken.
There it is. Like when people watch you or people go see you. And so the definition of the players, all the players on Oklahoma City and Indiana, they're not superstars.
I don't think yet.
Yes, and now people aren't
yet.
going. Now, I think when one of these teams wins a championship, then it changes, right?
Yeah.
Then when that team shows up, you think more like whichever team wins, one of the stars is going to elevate because of it, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So someone's going to be created. A star is going to be born out of that, right?
And has earned it. Earned it.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Someone's going to rise out of that as a star, right? And it's probably going to be who gets named the MVP final or the finals MVP, right? And that's going to be well earned, most likely. So there's no doubt about that. And you know, I think this series for the two teams that are in there, that's what kind of makes this series exciting, like, to me, right? Like they're two teams. I mean, obviously OKC with the point guard, he's an unbelievable player.
Yeah, but if the Pacers win, he's taking second fiddle. The MVP will mean nothing. It'll go to Halliburton, because assuming he continues to make a big role, it could go to his teammate too. But to be the MVP in the finals has always meant more than the MVP of the league. Right? I mean it's whoever. Go ahead.
I would almost say that, like, if he doesn't win the whole thing, I mean, you would almost kind of look at. I mean, the season MVP is like you said, like, what does it mean then?
No,
right?
you know what he becomes? You know what he becomes if he doesn't win? Steve Nash.
Yeah. I mean,
Steve Nash, I think, doesn't he have 2 MVPs? Did he go back to back or he won 2? Like, there's not anybody who watched the NBA who didn't, one, respect him. They did. But MVP, nobody ever, 5 people in the world didn't go to a game to watch Steve Nash play when they came into town. Unless someone can prove me wrong if they want. Yeah.
Wasn't the reason. For sure was not the reason. It's definitely not the reason. But I mean, most likely, I mean, for me, it would be to go see Nowitzki, right? Like, I'd rather go see Dirk. I mean, that'd be the guy that I'd want to go see play. I mean, on that team.
I mean, the closest thing now, again, you can defer to, the closest thing now would be Giannis. Giannis might be. People go see Giannis on the road, or people go see Jokic or Doncic.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would say, I'd say, Jokic. I mean, I think that would be the guy that gets a lot of pull, because I think people are kind of in awe of him, right? Like, you look at him as a player, and obviously Giannis too. I mean, he's a freak show. You look at him, like, the way the guy moves, but Jokic as well. Like, a guy like that's not supposed to move like that, shoot like that, and create the way he does. So people are in awe of that, right? And I think that kind of puts, butts in the seats. People want to see that. And that's exactly what you said. That's superstar type, level. That's status right there. And that, to me, is exactly what you've been saying.
Well, and I stole it from Magic Johnson, but I think he's end all the discussion. It's all you got to do. How many people are coming to see him? That tells you who people see as a superstar. And I thought of the most disappointing superstar, and he clearly isn't one, is Mike Trout, the baseball player.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but you can't tell people someone's a superstar.
No, no.
So, and he's had these incredible stats for years and years and years, and I have never spent 1 second of one day thinking, when's he going to be near Milwaukee, or when's he?
Yeah.
He's the definition of a great player who is not a superstar, and I'm not sure he's even close. I would say, well, I said it at the time because he's Babe Ruth, the Japanese pitcher.
Shohei Ohtani?
Shohei Ohtani.
Sure.
I think people, and again, it differs when you're talking about L.A. If Japanese people are coming, that's one thing. But I think he draws bigger crowds. Someone will have to look it up. That I would say he's a superstar.
Oh, yeah, he draws crowds. Yeah, he draws crowds. And then I think and I would even say when he's actually healthy and he's able to pitch, he draws even bigger
more.
crowds.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's even a bigger show. So, like, yeah, he's one. And, like, that's the thing. Like, Mike Trout, for all the numbers he puts up and the home runs he hits, it just isn't. It's not there. The guy from the Yankees is a like, you know what I'm saying?
Aaron Judge has passed him already. It probably doesn't know. Yes, Aaron Judge, and is it the benefit of being a Yankee? Maybe, but it doesn't matter because Magic has set the standard. If they turn on the TV to see you play, they watch you on the road. When you're on the road, they want to come see you. It's just easy, and we can factor in each sport being a little bit different. Like you said, you can be other reasons fans go because of teams or whatever, but that's the best way to judge it. You judge it by fans' actions.
A perfect example, this fits exactly into it. I wasn't, still not a huge basketball fan, but when I was with the Packers, the Lakers came to town. I wanted to see Kobe. I went to watch the Bucks play the Lakers. I wanted to see Kobe. And that was why, right? Like, as a young kid growing up in Chicago, my dad would take me to Bulls games. I got to see Jordan play.
Did you ever want to see Shaq to the same degree as Kobe? I'll bet not.
No, not to the same degree. Listen, seeing Shaq, obviously amazing, a phenomenal player. And
Kobe
really,
was a bigger superstar. You proved it, and all the numbers would prove it, right?
Yeah. But you look at these things like I got to see Jordan as a young kid. Obviously, I was really young. You didn't get to appreciate it as much. So then you get older, and here comes a guy that you're like, okay, this is about maybe as close as it's going to get again. I got to see him when he's where I can go see him and I can get courtside to see him. And that's what I did. And it was awesome.
And I will say this, it'll irritate Milwaukee fans, but Hank Aaron was never a superstar when he played. The superstars were Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays. People, anywhere they went, packed the place. Hank Aaron didn't pack a place. Now, maybe later on he did, maybe when he was Atlanta and had home runs. And that's why Magic is so good. It's not subjective anymore. It's objective.
Mm-hmm.
People tell players whether you're a superstar or not. So,
yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Agree.
Well, no, and I know this from the Packers because people aren't old enough to know, but there was only one superstar in Vince Lombardi's Packers, and it was Paul Hornung. Nobody else was even close. Nobody's even in close to his league, given the image he had created by being the Golden Boy, being at Notre Dame, being the Heisman Trophy winner. But that doesn't mean he was the best player. And I think now, like in the NFL, I don't know. Mahomes?
I would say Mahomes is I would say is a superstar. I think people want to go see him play. And I think it's
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I think he's one of those talents that is a unique talent that he puts on a show. Unfortunately, it's different now that you don't go to watch defensive players anymore, right? You would go watch a Reggie White.
People did, yes.
You would want to see Reggie White play. It's totally different now, right? Because it's such an offensive league.
Well, who's the guy with the Rams who retired?
Aaron Donald. Yeah. Superstar.
He was the closest.
Yes, probably the closest. Probably the closest guy that you'd want to watch.
And no way, I bet there was anything close.
No. And again, we're not saying that there's not absolute studs, that we're not calling Hall of Fame players, but we're talking about that fill stadiums, that people want to go to stadiums and see. That's what we're saying. But NFL is just so much different than these other sports, right? It is a different dynamic because of, the team aspect of it. And obviously going on the road for, you look at, I always relate it back to the Packers and how well they traveled to away games.
But
they always did it
Aaron
the best.
Rodgers, and maybe even I would say to a greater degree, Brett Favre did that. They drew crowds on the road in addition to the great loyal Packer fans.
Yes, they did it no matter what. I had buddies that were Bears fans that wanted to come up to Packers games just to see Aaron play. So, like, it didn't matter if it was it was in Lambeau Field, but they were obviously Bears fans. They just wanted to come watch. I mean, they were friends of mine. They would say they wanted to see me play, but it was really just see Aaron play because they wanted to see him, right? Because you get to see a Hall of Famer in the flesh and a superstar. That's what it's about, right? Like, you only get to see these guys come around so often that you have to go do it. And that's kind of what Magic's saying. And like, that's what you're saying. And
Yeah,
it makes total sense.
Right. He's just right. That's how, if someone can draw a crowd on the road, they're a superstar. Jason Wilde, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Some slowdowns on southbound 894 starting at about Oklahoma Avenue, down and around the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound just past Forest Home. Southbound 43 backing up a bit from Good Hope Road all the way down towards Silver Spring. Back on the brakes from Keefe down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing, and the northbound side backed up from Kilbourne up to Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 56. Tomorrow, slight chance for afternoon showers or storms, partly sunny skies. Otherwise, a high of 68 at the lake, 77 inland. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The deals are heating up at the Summer Savings Event all summer long at Cunis. Get the hottest savings of the year at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We have sizzling new vehicle specials on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Or with one of our 10 pre-owned super specials, you'll be swimming in a pool of savings. Plus, keep your vehicle refreshed with our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Bryan Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Get outside and enjoy the Summer Savings Event at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
The big gig is back, starting June 19th. 9 days, hundreds of musical acts. Summerfest in Milwaukee is the event of the summer. Plus, tune into 94.5 ESPN all 3 weekends for Summerfest Saturday. Enter for your chance to win tickets to the ESPN Wisconsin app or visit summerfest.com. We'll see you out there.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16th at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an east side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Jason Wilde and the Doctor, Bryan Bulaga, talking Packer football. It's as good as it gets. And it's led by the Doctor because he is so nice. Bryan Bulaga, take it away.
Jason, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm irritated with the crazy old man. He's nice too, so let's not pretend that Brian's the only one who's nice. You just don't want to waste any time asking how I'm doing. I'm doing fine. I have a question though. Bryan Bulaga, with all that NFL money you made and now all that Good Karma Brands money you're raking in, do you mow your own lawn?
Of course he does.
You're a good man.
Yeah.
If I had your money, I wouldn't.
Well, no, the question is, why doesn't he have his kids mow the lawn? That's what I want to know.
No, so Maddie's asking to mow the lawn too, and I just don't. She's got such a bright future. If I cut my finger off doing something stupid, I've had a good run with those fingers.
Well, Brian had that weird look at me like when I said, why don't the kids mow the lawn? What?
No, he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet.
That's a smart dad right there.
He's not ready yet. I know he's not ready yet.
Just out of curiosity, how old is he?
He just turned 10.
And you have special football plays that you give this team that he's on, right?
That's on a wristband, though. That's direction. I mean, you see that,
I'm not going to waste time arguing with you because you're not going to change. I learned that about a college degree. Take it away, nice guy.
Oh, wow. Look at, again, subtle jabs. I mean, that's just amazing. All right, Jason. So when we talked on your show, you told me about the left tackle situation. Did it repeat itself the following practice that you went down to? Did that stay the same way?
This was barely a practice. I mean, it really was. I mean, and then McManus kicked a 58-yard field goal. So then they ended practice early. Like, it was, for a team and for a coach who was talking about how, the off season had been, basically condensed because they had the week virtually because of the draft, and then they let them go early because of the quick turnaround for training camp. And of course, the rules that are in place for the off-season program, thanks to the, Jeff Saturdays of the world. I don't know how super productive it was, but, Sheed was not practicing. I think they were just being smart with him. But the fact of the matter is that competition, as you astutely put it, that starts in training camp. And anything that they were doing, I mean, again, Donovan Jennings worked with the starters again, this time at center for a period of time. Kadeem Telfort took the left guard reps. Like, it was a whole thing. So, again, this is why, as both you and Tausch made very clear, this is why we're not putting a whole lot of stock in what goes on in June in today's NFL.
Yep. Well, I get you on that. So essentially what you're saying is, so are they done with the minicamp? Is the minicamp over?
It's over. Donezo.
Okay.
They had another half hour to go, which would have been nice since they moved it up a half hour, and then I had to get there late because, the wildly popular Wilde and Tausch program. So I didn't even get to see a whole heck of a lot, which kind of stuff. It ended before the show ended. Practice ended at 11:30. Show was still going on. Crazy.
Wow. So essentially, this was a mini camp that was essentially kind of a slower paced OTA. Like, it was like an OTA, slow paced OTA.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And so, one of the questions I asked LaFleur yesterday was, how much do you find out given the constraints about Jacob Monk, right? Because that's, obviously a guy that took the lion's share of all the center snaps. I mean, except when Donovan Jennings. I still can't believe LaFleur yesterday, by the way, when somebody asked him about Donovan Jennings getting guard reps with the first team and him admitting he didn't realize that had happened.
Oh my gosh.
Donovan, you got some work to do to make an impression on the head coach. But look, there are a couple of things that I think, before I ramble away the segment, we need to touch on. One, Mecole Hardman had 2 big-time touchdown catches. One was an unbelievable, majestic 70-plus yard throw from Jordan Love to end yesterday's practice. The day before, it was a absolute prayer heave into traffic from about 30 yards out from Sean Clifford that he elevated and grabbed with one hand. Again, they're in shorts and helmets. Nobody's tackling. I'm guessing in a real NFL game he would have been crunched and he would have had a hard time holding on to the football. But the bottom line is that he made impressions. And if you think about what they have at wide receiver now, and if we think maybe Watson is going to be back sooner rather than later, sooner than November like TJ Hawkinson was with the same timeline, you're talking about Watson, Dobbs, Reed, Wicks, Melton, Heath, Golden, Savion Williams, and Mecole Hardman. That is 9 guys at the wide receiver position that you could argue all deserve a spot on a roster.
And your order,
not all
please.
9 will be on this roster. Well, I mean, look, you and I went round and round yesterday about Bo Melton. I will bet you breakfast at Ted's and the purchase of 1 goat for what's the Helping Hands for Haiti? What's it called?
Help for health in Haiti, whatever. Help for health, and I can't even remember it. But it's goats.
All right. I'm going to get a goat either way. So
I'm not going to bet you. You're going to say he's on the team.
I am going to say.
All right, no, we're going to bet on whether or not he'll ever play 1 down at cornerback, which means this whole thing was made
we're
up
not
crap.
betting because it was certainly some good misdirection. But anyway, Brian, my point is that not all those guys.
Friends
are make
for Health in Haiti, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I mean, obviously, we know that Watson's going to start the season on PUP, right? Like, I mean, obviously that's going to, right? Or no? Am I wrong on that?
Well, so I think you're right, but and let me get the quote here because I asked LaFleur about that. I also asked him about Elton. Like there were interviews going on at the same time, so it was kind of a skeleton crew in the press conference, which helps me. Not because my questions are so long, but because there's not as many people to beat to the punch, and I'm not very good at that. But I asked him about Elton. I asked him a couple of other things. Really good answer, by the way, at the end of the press conference. I think he knows I think he believes in his heart he's got a really good team and didn't want to come out and say it's Super Bowl capable, but be that as it may. I asked him specifically if it was hard for him to not get his hopes up based on what he's seen from Watson. And because, look, I will admit that I said that it was going to be the timeline like Hawkinson. Like, you don't want to jeopardize the guy's career by bringing him back too fast, but he looks phenomenal. Now, he's not cutting, but he's running at more than what would appear to be half speed on his own in a straight line. He's doing a lot of the stretching and other stuff that they do as a team at the beginning. I mean, he looks, for being 5.5 months out from surgery, he looks pretty good. So yep. I'm willing to acknowledge that I might be wrong. I still think late October, early November is more realistic. But I asked LaFleur, Are you allowing yourself to get your hopes up that he could be back earlier than you originally expected? And he said, probably not, to be honest. It is what it is. The guys that are available, that's who you coach. I said, yeah, but come on. Like, he looks really good. And he said, it is exciting to see how far along he is. He's been doing a great job. He attacks it the right way. He will give us a boost whenever that is, whenever he comes back. I expect him to give us a boost. So you're probably right. I don't think he's going to be back like for the opener. But if he starts on PUP you're talking 4 or 5 weeks into the season. Maybe he's ready after the bye week, and they've got that early bye, so maybe he's ready in October sometime.
So I just look. I'm just trying to, we talked 9 receivers, right? Like, and I'm just putting this in my head, and then we put him on PUP. Now we're down to 8. So now we're looking at this thing with 8 guys that we have to figure out, right? Like, I mean, we're and obviously we got Golden in the 3rd round pick. They're not going anywhere. Obviously, we know
right.
that. So there's
got 2
off. So there's 2 off the board. We know Wicks and Reed are not going anywhere. So there's 2 more off the board. So there's 4. So
Watson's not going off the board.
Yeah. So
right, but he's not going. If he's not available to start the season, Bryan and I aren't counting him for the opening part of the year.
Okay.
For the year. That's why.
Okay. So there's 4. So now we're left with Dobbs. We're left with Melton. We're left with Hardman, and we're left with who's the last one?
Yeah, I think, look, the challenge, there's a couple things, right? I mean, and you know this as well as anybody because it happened to you on family night in 2013. Sometimes really rotten luck makes these decisions for you, right?
Yep.
Like sometimes a guy gets hurt, suffers a major injury, and then you don't have to figure out, do we need to trade Romeo Dobbs to the Steelers because they need wide receiver help or whatever it might be. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I still think even though Hardman made those plays, I think you look at his track record, Homer's brought it up, he's caught only a handful of balls the last couple of years. I think he's probably the one who's fighting the biggest uphill battle. They have kept 7 before. That's not out of the realm of possibility, but then obviously you got to short yourself somewhere else. The question I have is, did Kadeem Telfort and Travis Glover play themselves out of the mix for a roster spot? And again, they're going to have the chance in training camp to reverse that. But the way they both played when Elton went out in Philly, that left a mark, like getting hit by a 99-mile-an-hour fastball from the Miz. So, or 103, I guess he throws. But I don't know. Like, those guys will have practice squad eligibility. They could bring them back that way and stash some extra offensive linemen there. But if you go heavy on wide receiver, obviously it means you have to go lighter somewhere else.
Yep. And then, I heard you guys making a reference of Melton at corner. What do you think about that? What's the questions that you guys are asking about that? What's the reality of that?
I will bet
real?
you 5 goats that he does not play a single down in the regular season as a defensive back.
Or what's Matt saying about it?
So Matt actually approached him with this back in 2023 when he was on the practice squad. That was before he had the big game in Minnesota. It was before he had the touchdown catch in the playoffs in San Francisco. I mean, and look, he is on a team that does not have many clear-cut special teams core players anymore, right? They let Corey Ballantyne go. They let Robert Rochelle go. They let Eric Wilson go, who was such a key piece of that unit. They brought back Christian Welch, who's another one of you Iowa guys. So he's a pretty great guy, but there's that one drawback that he went to Iowa. The fact of the matter is that Bo Melton's a really important piece for that group. So I think he is on this team regardless without playing a snap at corner. But I also think that, he played it in high school. He started out there in college at Rutgers, and then they saw that he could catch the ball better than his brother.
But didn't his brother laugh at this whole concept when somebody asked him?
His brother was pissed that he didn't tell him. And there was even some profanities exchanged that when Bo was retelling the story. Because, look, he's like, there is a skill set there. Now, do I think that it's typical for a player who is now in his 3rd full NFL season to be going out there and switching the corner or playing both ways in a game? No. Did Bo say very clearly that he is not Travis Hunter? He didn't win a Heisman at Rutgers? Yes. But if there is a guy on their team that in a pinch could do it, I'm telling you, talking to the defensive backs and ones that I actually trust that aren't just going to say things just to say them, they all admitted they were surprised at how good he looked. So, no, do you want him out there on opening day against Amon-Ra St. Brown? No, you do not. But look at what they have at the position. Like, it's Nixon, it's Carrington Valentine, and it's Nate Hobbs. After that, it's Gregory Jr., who played 111 defensive snaps over 2 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those are the only regular season or postseason NFL snaps on defense played by any other corner on the roster. So if you compare Bo not to the three guys that are your top three, but if you compare him to those other guys, he ain't that far off. He's at least played in a lot of NFL games.
But isn't that kind of where we have the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that kind of an issue? Like,
yeah,
I mean, look, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I don't know.
No,
Maybe
you're
I'm just
being
looking at it a certain way.
No, you're being totally fair, Brian. And look, I'm part of it because you know this, having known me for a really long time. I love a good story, and whether it's you telling stories about your dad, or it's Rogers telling the great story about him getting that letter from, was it Purdue? Good luck at your attempt at a college football career. Or it's a guy switching positions in minicamp. That is, you're the fisherman. Is that chum in the water? Is that what we would call that for me? I was part of it. I wrote about it twice. I wrote about it on Tuesday when he did it, and then I wrote about it Wednesday when he talked about it. So, but it was, as Homer and I debated last night, it certainly took the focus off of, man, your depth sucks if you're converting or at least having a wide receiver moonlight at the position.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jason. Always a pleasure.
All right, guys. No, I don't know about always. Last night was all right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, Friends for Health in Haiti. I think I might bet him, Brian. I don't know if I would do 5. I think Melton will play a down as a defensive back this year for the Packers.
I mean, I'm going to tell you this much. If that's the way the depth stays, he very well may.
Well, no, but I mean, it's going to be just somebody's hurt. To me, it's going to be like a fluky situation. I'm not as worried as you are about this is reflective of anything, because I think it's just something they had to talk about. And you have admitted and talked about these things. These are so unlike practices, no one knows what to call them, right? I'll let you tell us what we should call them next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 41, backing up from before Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Northbound is slowing down from before Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. We got delays on southbound 894, basically out of the Zoo interchange all the way down and around the Hale to Forest Home. We've also got eastbound 94 backing up from the Zoo interchange to about 76th, back on the brakes right through the Stadium interchange to about 35th Street. Also an accident right about at 68th Street. It's got the right lane blocked, so that's something new as well. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 56. Tomorrow, slight chance for afternoon showers or storms. Partly sunny otherwise, a high of 68 at the lake, 77 inland. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate, when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at Discount Liquor.
It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. There is no other party like Summerfest. So get the fun started by stopping into Discount Liquor. When you buy any one 12-pack of Blue Moon or Blue Moon Light, or any one 12-pack of Arnold Palmer Spiked Hard Tea, you'll receive a free Summerfest ticket. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
See us for your free Summerfest ticket and check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnatthebog.com.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We will get to how unpracticed like the practices are, but Bryan Bulaga, the doctor of football, also the doctor of Surfside, take it away.
That's right. I am here from my friends at Surfside, and summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than a nice cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is so good. It is what I prefer, or what I want to call the drink of the summer. It is not that sweet, nasty drink that you see on the shelves, all these other ones. There's a bunch of ones, but look for Surfside. Believe me, there's so many great flavors, like my favorite, the half tea, half lemonade. There's peach tea, raspberry lemonade, so many more. Believe me, you'll find one that you like. They're all good. Trust me. It's made with real brewed tea and real vodka. Surfside's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right. No carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes sold at bars and restaurants and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
He can talk about Surfside. I can talk about Fisco Auto Body. You'll have an auto body place forever. Your kids will have one forever because they're that good, and eventually you'll thank me. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. It's a family business owned since 1931. So it's not what they do, it's who they are. And a family business still owned by the family. So imagine what generation they're at and how early they started working on cars so that by the time they work on yours, they're really good. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. Those who listen to me go there, and then at some point they think, wow, guess we should thank Homer because these people are really good. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. So you'll remember the name. This is the difficult part for Bryan Bulaga because I don't know how he can state for sure that the so-called practices, minicamp, or whatever they have it, they might as well just hold them in a classroom. Is that going too far? Or as someone who went through what the procedure used to be and things that you would attend in the offseason for the Packers, is it harsh to say it's a joke?
It sounds like it's a lot different. It's a lot different than what it used to be, and I don't. The only thing I can think they're getting out of this is that they're seeing like jog through reps with bodies in front of them, right? Like they're going through offensive plays with bodies in front of them, and they're seeing movement in front of them, and they're able to go through their offensive plays and identifications with the defense in front of them. Like that's all I can really think with that tempo. And like there is positives to that, right? Like there is good things you can get out of that.
I don't know, whatever you say. I judge by what the coaches do. The coaches' actions tell me if they think it's a joke based on what they're doing, not doing, right?
Yeah, well, like, yeah, I mean, like this is so much different than what it was especially when I first got into the league. I mean, OTAs and minicamp were like full go. It felt like it was like so physical, like so high tempo and high speed and super serious. And like, I was like, when I was going through it as a rookie, I'm like, if this is like just OTAs and minicamp, I'm like, what's training camp like? I'm like, what, if this is just this, what's camp going to be like? And obviously that was still 2 days and everything like that. 2 days was tough. So like, it seems like they've tapered this thing back quite a bit.
Do you believe that you were any better as a player as a result of how tough the OTAs or mini camps were? Or would you say now that they do it differently, I'm sure the players are just as ready as I was? What's the truth?
I think there was some benefit to what we did. I think the fact that there was, I mean, you weren't supposed to have contact, but there was contact. It kind of kicked some rust off really quick in the off season. Like you got to figure out your technique and things like that at a faster rate than what you would kind of what they're doing right now. Like I think Jason said the only time they would go a little more like normal speed would be the 2-minute drill. We were going at that speed, probably even a little bit more the entire time. Like, and that was every period throughout all OTAs and minicamp. And I mean, I think there was benefit to that. Obviously, guys would not like that all the time, right? Like it was like, okay, like we're doing this constantly. Like, can we take a couple periods where it's more jog through? Like, you know, it's can you find that happy medium?
Those would have been the veterans that were saying that.
Yes, for sure. And now it seems like they've gone to the complete opposite side of the spectrum here. And now they're not doing, it sounds like, much of anything.
Yeah, so do
like,
the coaches have less knowledge about the ability of some of the players? And then again, maybe if they do, it really doesn't matter. I would assume the new players, there's no way the coaches could have anywhere near the same idea of the quality, probable, whatever the quality of the young players now as much as they did then, correct?
Oh, correct. Absolutely. Like you don't find out as much about them as you did when I was a young player. I mean, you got to find out about young players really quick. Like you found out about them immediately because they were going against vets and it was full. Like, again, I hate to say full go because like that's when you have pads on, but like it was about as full go as you could get with helmets and shells on. I mean, I remember it was like shells, like little like pad things that you would put on. Like, I mean, they didn't do anything. So you can tell the way the young guys were going to be able to handle themselves and do all the drills and go through team periods and how they were going to hold up against veteran players and how they were going to absorb knowledge and be able to react against things in, you know, really in real time. Because like, obviously guys don't have pads on. So these defensive players are moving way quicker than they even do with pads on. And it's really fast tempo. So yeah, they knew a lot more.
Well, I'm going to ask you what you knew about other players on the team, the veterans, even after OTAs and minicamp. The close next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. On this show, it's always football season.
And one of the reasons why Jair no longer fits what they are doing is because he's not physical like he was until Najee Harris ran him over in 2021.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
That's just the reality. And Jeff Hafley relies on his corners to tackle and be physical.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Rivals meet again when the Brewers battle the Cardinals June 12th through the 15th. Come for a duel between the Contreras brothers on the diamond and stay for one of the best weekends of summer. It's Tropical Day, Saturday, June 14th, featuring a Brewers straw hat with special tickets. Then take Dad to the Father's Day game for a Barrelman Cooler giveaway on June 15th. It doesn't get any better than this. Get in on the action at Brewers.com.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Bryan Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Save $100 on the Craftsman V20 6-tool power tool combo kit, now at $199. No matter what the project is, Craftsman's high-quality, high-performance products empower you to build on. Stop by your nearest Lowe's store and check out the full line of Craftsman tools today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Father's Day is Sunday, and if you haven't found a gift yet, don't panic. Just come to Macy's Father's Day sale for gifts that'll make Dad say, this is perfect. Shop designer polos from Lacoste and Tommy Hilfiger, 30 to 50% off. Watches from Citizen and Bulova, 30% off. Fragrance gift sets, boxed and ready to give. Even a 36-piece Cuisinart grill set, now half off. Hurry in. Father's Day is this Sunday, and this sale is happening now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. A big focus in America today is your health. And you can't be fully healthy if you are not physically mobile to do the things you want to do. If you're someone that keeps on experiencing that joint pain, then you need to visit QC Kinetics. When I go to QC Kinetics' Greenfield location, I am amazed at everything that they have to give you your life back and finally fix that pain that you're experiencing. Everything they do is top of the line. From the free consultation where you can get an ultrasound of your joints and see what is nagging you in real time, to the effective and long-lasting treatments of PRP and stem cells that they offer to give you long-lasting pain relief. Be one of the tens of thousands of other patients who now have a pain-free life because of the treatments they received at QC Kinetics. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
1, 2, you know what to do.
I think I have, but I'll tell you again. American Place Casino, a half hour south of Franklin. American Place Casino, a half hour south of Franklin. Did I tell you it was a half hour? And 38 minutes, actually, from maybe one spot in Franklin. American Place Casino, located in Lake County, Illinois. Great table games, great slot machines, got a sports book. And you go to AmericanPlace.com. AmericanPlace.com. Almost as important as 30 minutes south of Franklin, because you can find out about their great Father's Day event. You can find out about Happy Bourbon Day on Saturday. If you go to American Place Casino, however long it takes you, and you don't take advantage of all the deals they have going, that's on you. Not one, it should be more than one. AmericanPlace.com. And one more time. American Place Casino, a half hour south of Franklin. Now we're going to find out just how little the practice of me now based on how much Brian Bulaga learned when he was doing OTAs, mini camps about other players on his team. How much did you know and how quickly did you know it about players who became your teammates for many years when you were a rookie?
Well, I mean, I found out really quick how good Clay was, like the first 3 snaps. Like
of the first OTA.
Oh yeah, like the first OTA. Like I think he wanted to make the point, make it like his point to make my life a living hell for the first OTA.
All right, so he was nuts, but I bet there were others you learned about, maybe not to the same degree. That would tell me everybody's playing hard to some level.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, no, I learned about I learned how good BJ was. I learned how good Cullen Jenkins was. I learned a lot about AJ Hawk. I learned a lot about Ryan Pickett. You learn a lot about Brady Papinga. You just learn about all these different players, and it gives you a little insight to training camp about what you can expect, who the thumpers are, like Desmond Bishop, what these guys are going to be like when they put pads on. And
it's almost impossible, based on what you've heard, for current players to have any such comments based on what they're doing now.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd get a feel for that. Right. I don't know how they would do that. Now there may be some places around the league that kind of don't do it the way it sounds like Green Bay is doing it, right? They may do it old school the way it used to be, but it sounds like there's reps almost at every team that are looking at this and watching it pretty closely to make sure it doesn't.
All right, we're almost out of time. Have you watched any of the U.S. Open?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a golf course. I don't know what that is. What are they playing? That's a different game.
That is ridiculous.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
Now, we'll talk about it more next week. To me, it goes from fairways to green, and they look the same. And then on the sides, you have rough that's the middle of the Amazon. Anyway, so we'll see.
If you call that rough,
you could lose a golf cart in that stuff. Quote me on that. The analysis, 2 hours. Peter Fagan, Christian Yelich. Even if you don't like golf, even if you don't know anything about golf, just give the U.S. Open a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There's rumor that a player was lost in the rough today. They're looking for him. Next.
We've got an accident eastbound on 94 right at 68th Street. That is blocking the right lane and making 4 big delays stretching all the way back into Waukesha County. Take that back a step. We do have other delays as well from Highway 164